2, 1. Hi guys, you're welcome to another episode on Jolly Sports. Of course, I'm your favorite host, Shagun. I'm not doing it alone. I'm doing it with.
Yeah.
How was the weekend? I believe I had a wonderful weekend.
The weekend was great. Awesome. Wonderful football games during the weekend.
You, what was your high point for the weekend? Your low point.
It had to be Arsenal Man United. Man U's performance was good. Of course, they didn't go away with 3 points. Well, it was an encouraging sign. And we were used to United team. We were used to playing on the counter against big teams, big six. We didn't do too bad against. But this time around, they dominated the game against Arsenal, and could have had one or two goals.
Yeah, they could have had one or two goals, because I'm when the golden cap today because Arsenal won over the weekend. So, but a lot of people drag Arsenal that Arsenal scored the goal and we back the box, whatever. But since I'm doing this over the years, I'm getting with it. But somebody said that Arsenal closer to Stoke. And
anyways, they got the 3 points, which is the important.
So apparently, yeah. We're talking about the FPL awards, so the player of the year, and it was good to know that person than Mohamed Salah, of course. Was he a surprise for you? Or?
No. There's nothing to be surprised about. It's a well-deserved award.
Yeah, very well deserved. The three-time winner. Last year was the best player kind season. Just recommending that he had the most assists and he had the most goals in the season. And of course, Liverpool also won the league. There's really no fault about it. There's no argument about that. There's no controversy that he won the award.
This is one of the PFA award that no one can contest against.
Nobody can contest.
It's so glaring.
Yeah,
he is the best player in the league.
Apparently, there was a result that came out yesterday that Eberechi Eze is not going to Arsenal for 67.5 million, 7.8 million. Some idea about I didn't get the exact figure, but what's your take on that? Somebody saying that he does the fastest deal done in the Premier League.
I still think it's a bit of an hijack. Spurs were stalling because at the point they knew Arsenal had backed out. So they were stalling on the deal due to price issues and all that. And they need a rise for Arsenal with the injury of Kai Havertz. So Arsenal just swooped in and got their man. Good one for them. I feel Eberechi Eze is a good upgrade for Arsenal. They are definitely contenders for the league if they were doubts before they weren't. Because it's a good deal for them.
Yeah, it's a good deal for Arsenal. Tottenham. Crystal Palace have lost Olise in the past. Eberechi Eze now. Of course, funny enough, Eberechi Eze and Olise were former Arsenal academy players. But I want to ask you a question. Now, these players that Arsenal signed, they signed Eberechi Eze, they signed Mendy, they signed Correctors. These people, looking at them on paper, does Arsenal look like a team, to be fair? Now, what I mean, I'm not saying that Arsenal can win the league. I mean, like, when you hear Mbappe, when you hear Vinicius Junior, you think, yes, is there a team that have that say, they have that factor, that fear factor?
Well,
like the way Man City had.
I'll say with what they've, from the records, of course, from what they've performed so far, it's good enough. But I don't think that fear factor is there, especially when it comes to Premier League. In the recent years, it seems hardly fear that you are playing them. You have to justify it on the pitch. But on paper, they are good. But I'll still not put them in the caliber of the players Man City have at the moment. Of course, you see Martinelli in your team, which in a way you can say is mid. He's a good player in a very good day, but then exactly.
And world-class players.
Yes. Odegaard is good too.
Yeah, it's good.
But you agreed with me a couple of times last season.
He had his even on Sunday that he didn't have his teeth. Of course,
the outstanding players for Arsenal so far, in their pursuit of Premier League trophy has been Declan Rice. I'll say the defense has been quite good.
They were the best. They were the best defense last year.
So, but the forward, I really don't think when Arsenal got Madueke, I really didn't think Madueke is an upgrade to Martinelli, to be honest.
I think
maybe a backup for Saka. Yeah, but even as a backup, it's still not an upgrade to the likes of Martinelli. So, but if they can come up well as a team, I think they'll do good. And Eberechi Eze is also a good side. He understands the league quite well, and he knows how to score goals and dribble players. So,
although, like I said before, of course, goodbye as the case may be, but expectations in Crystal Palace is different from the expectations in Arsenal. So, without further ado, let's go the games. Look at the games. But Bournemouth, Liverpool, surprises. Any take home from there?
No, I wasn't surprised. I expected Liverpool to win. Of course, most of the strikers this weekend back to goals.
Yes.
I must mention that Chris Wood, Alan, of course, they had a goal. Salah had a goal, and then who is the last person that got two goals?
Alan, I can't remember the other person.
Sameyu got two goals, even though he's not a striker. He's a good player anyway. There was a time it was rumored Liverpool were lining him up to replace Salah. But we'll see how that goes. I also don't expect him to remain in Bournemouth by next season.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that I believe that a team like Liverpool have done very well.
Yeah.
Of course, with Sad is very relatively poor game, relatively.
Even Frimpong wasn't that.
Yeah. At some point they had to remove Frimpong.
Quite well.
At some point, they had to remove one of the two of them. But Liverpool still have that balance issue at the back. Van Dijk is aging. There are rumors of
it's good enough.
Oh yes, it's aging. It's aging. There are rumors of somebody will say they've seen his password. Some people will say, and then the rumors of Gui, or someone not arguing that he's not physical enough.
The rumors are flying.
He's physical enough, and because it's English, it's not going to come for cheap. It's not going to come for 10 kobo. And Crystal Palace,
there's a price tag on it already. I think it's around 40 something.
And Crystal Palace are going to lose probably most of their players right now. They've lost Olise, they have lost Eze, they might lose Gui. At some point in time, Type Mitchell at some point in time was not one of the best left backs in the league, young best left back, not necessarily the best, but up there, maybe top 5, top 6. At some point, they're going to leave. I think last season before.
Crystal Palace lose Eberechi Eze, they will still remain in the league for sure.
No, they will remain in the league, but probably maybe 14, 15-ish.
Quite well. And their home has been a fortress since January last year.
Yes. And get those 8 results. Right. They are. The next game we're talking about Wolves versus Man City. Wolves at Wolverhampton Stadium. Man City getting the results. So Haaland getting goals. Of course, the player that I said that arguably is going to be the team of the season. He's going to be
the player of the weekend.
Yes,
also.
It's going to be
Tijani.
Yes, and it's going to be it's not Yoruba.
Yeah, it's Yoruba. Tijani Yoruba name.
Yeah, I know. I just said when you said it like Tijani.
It's Tijani. It's actually Tijani. He was given the name due to his parents being a fan of Tijani Babaya. So it is a Yoruba name. He isn't Yoruba, but
yes, I know it was like a double name. So it was. It's going to be arguably one of the best players in the season of the league.
They still have a long way to go.
I'm making my decisions now. And he did very well. The pre-assist coming in. I know that they try to he's checking in because the arguments of him that when he loses the ball, he loses his head. I don't know the arguments of whether City are going to buy another goalkeeper or another right back, but there are rumors that Ederson will play the game against Spurs over the weekend. So basically, Wolves too, they had their own part, they had their in-game moments in the first half, but Stones coming back is like a new signing. Hopefully, he doesn't spend half of the season. They say he has plastic legs, but it is what it is.
Chelsea, Crystal Palace.
Anyway, I agree that Chelsea was well. Eze had scored the free kick that they said it was an infringement in the wall, and apparently it was actually a right call.
Easily push to the very end.
Then the next game will be talking about the game of the weekend. Man U vs Arsenal. The debacle that came over the game was the Saliba handball. And of course, the leads as Everton game,
Saliba foul.
Foul, I mean, foul
against Cunha.
And then the game, Leeds versus Everton, the handball. One of the issues we raised earlier was that the consistency in the referee. So if the referee makes a call now, can there be consistency in the call, or should coaches make requests about those calls or to contest? Because over there, I know that there's a woman effort, a woman factor in all of this. Woman beings can never be able to get accuracy in all of it, but can there be some of base so that we don't have to have this argument
Well,
over years?
we hope so. It's yet to be seen. The consistency has always been a problem with refereeing in the Premier League. Of course, it happens in every other league, but for the Premier League, it has always been a complaint. There's lack of consistency, even when the rules have been set. I mean, you look at the Leeds versus Everton game. When the hand, once the hand is in a natural position, but even attempted to tuck it in, and yet it was blown forever. But then it has happened. The thing is that if you've been given a rule, please be consistent with it. And I'm still not clear when because there's always this they say that there are times where VAR don't need to interfere. They stick with the refereeing decision. So what gives that? When is it? That's what I'm not clear on.
Yeah.
When is it that VAR needs to interfere or doesn't need to interfere? So many things. I mean, the consistency is a problem. And then you of course, let's move away from that. The Arsenal Man U game.
Yes.
I think the flop of the weekend was Gyökeres.
Yeah, it was. No shot targets, no targets and all of that. But then
hopefully you'll pick.
Yeah. So the other game
was a good game.
Aston Villa, Newcastle United 0-0. Aston Villa had a red card, but Dambon was at the that game. Brighton over for Fulham. Baleba 1-1. Baleba still there. They want to sell it for over 100 million. When you're cool out, I really don't know why they want to buy a temporary player for 100 million. They have to tell me about what they are using.
We know how Brighton.
Yes. Sunderland, West Ham, the flop of the weekend for me, 30 goals to nil.
West Ham are the flop of the weekend as a team.
Sunderland
getting trashed by Sunderland.
Yes. Spurs versus Burnley, Richarlison arguably the goal of the weekend and the goal of the season. Richarlison back. I wouldn't say arguably. We just started this season. Yes, arguably. Trust me, you will see by better goals. But probably for the week. And then we saw that Chelsea, and then of course Nottingham Forest, Brentford are most likely going to be relegated. They're going to take a miracle. We mentioned the last miracle. Yes, they're going to take a miracle. They may, but they are definitely in relegation battle. They've lost their coach and a few players. So. Yeah, quick one. For the games coming this weekend, we have West Ham against Chelsea. Chelsea seem to have some very good record against West Ham. Even as Chelsea, as terrible as Chelsea were last season, previous season, and all of that. I think West Ham only won one game against them, and Chelsea have won a lot of games, both home and away against. I don't expect less. I don't expect less. I don't expect less. Maybe Chelsea should win the game, but I think it's going to be over 1.5. Both to score. I don't know. Both to score. Spurs, Man City Spurs, Man City at Etihad. Spurs seem to be like a boogie team for Man City. Of course, over the years. Yeah, over the years. But Man City is United side, new players coming in. Spurs too have their cracks, But they are also United side. Because they have a fit Richarlison. They have Kudus at their disposal, So I don't believe that something will happen this weekend. I believe that Man City are going to win the game. They're going to break the chinks over them because Man City really won once against Spurs. And they lost against Spurs last season. Yeah, so I believe 1.5. Yeah. So Bournemouth Wolves. The past 5 games, Bournemouth have won 2, Wolves have won 3. Yeah, so they've been to be there. So they are loggerheads. Yeah. I believe that. Wolves at home. Bournemouth have lost a lot of players. Kekres, the guy that went to Madrid. I think they signed the new goalkeeper. They signed this guy from France. Yeah, and they still have their coach. Brentford Aston Villa should get the straight win there. I think Aston Villa to 1.5 and keep a clean sheet. I believe that they should do that. Burnley, Sunderland. 2 newcomers. Burnley lost Trafford to Man City. I think they signed Shaka and Dufafka, signed Shaka. Will bring a lot of experience. Experience always Lambert because all those big experience or the play rubbish or the guy. See how that goes. Maybe full time for me. 1.5 a full time goal. Arsenal versus Leeds. This is a familiar fixture. Leeds have a win for 3.5. Minimum of 4 goals in that game. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all these over 4.5. I just know it's minimum of 4 win. Minimum of 4 goals. Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest. This is going to be a dicey fixture. Crystal Palace have lost some players. Some players are still structurally. I think they are good, and the team. Yeah, the team is still. I respect their coach. Yes, but losing these players here, it's difficult getting players to fix him immediately. Yeah. Especially knowing that they don't have that kind of funds like the big sites. They have to find a way to look for alternatives in that regard. Everton, Brighton. I think that
What's your call for Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace full-time draw. Full-time draw, 1.5.
I'll say Crystal Palace should get over the line.
Everton, Brighton.
Should win.
I believe Brighton will take this one.
Possible. I was talking about Moyes in my he knows how to grind it. He's a coach that if he loses the previous game, you want to get at least a draw in the next. I expect him to draw this one. Being owing to the fact that he's playing a similar team to their status.
The next game, Fulham Man U. From this Fulham Man U, apart from last season, I think Man U will win that game. But I think Fulham will.
Man U,
and this because I think the past 5 games, Man U have won everything. Apart from the last season, that Fulham beat Man U on penalty in the FA Cup. Yes. So I think that will be it. Newcastle, Liverpool. This Newcastle, Liverpool. That's a weekend. It has not a fortress now. People don't easily get 3 points in that game. But funny enough, Newcastle has only beaten Liverpool once since 2020, and they've had 2 draws between that side. So that's the one they had last season. I think they won 2 seasons ago. And this is a Liverpool side of ascendancy, new side, shaking up teams, different kind of play. They are very fast on the counter, but it's still that balance.
Well, Newcastle are also not devoid of their own problems.
It's an issue. But they can't be the players. I think it's going to be a cracker. I think it's going to be a full-time draw in that game. Or do you think otherwise? Or do you think
it should be a full-time draw? Or I expect Liverpool to take it. What the bookies call it. I'll say a double chance.
A double chance that's winner draw. Yeah, winner draw. So, what game will be the game for the weekend for you?
Newcastle, Liverpool for sure.
Who will be the player to watch? I think I'll go with Newcastle, Liverpool too. That will be the game of the weekend, of course.
I'll say the player to watch for the weekend has to be Cunha. Probably because I'm a United fan, and he did quite well against Arsenal. I expect him to still perform well.
I think the best of what we renders, and this reason because I saw what happened here. He's going to play against Spurs. Of course, I remember that is silence. Don't like that song.
Spurs Man City will be a very good game.
It's going to be very good.
It's going to be a must watch. Newcastle, Liverpool.
Yeah, so it's going to be a must watch. I think that will be. What player will you think will be the flop of the weekend?
Well, because he flopped the previous weekend, I'll still go with Gokeres again this weekend. I mean, maybe it may take him time to hit the ground running. I wouldn't expect him. Well, but then I know when Arsenal play these lesser teams and they win, we know Arsenal had issues. A lot of issues.
They had a good result against top 6.
Yes, but against the lesser team, which was what caused them to
draw. They beat Man U.
Sometimes, of course, they have a great record. It's only
they got the draw. In fact, Liverpool at some point, Liverpool was sneaking the draw in that sprint.
So it's only the teams on the bottom half of the table that gives them quite.
You don't really need to be the big teams to win.
So, but then anytime Arsenal did beat all these teams on the bottom half of the table, they tend to blow them away. Yes, so if it's that case against Leeds, of course, Gyökeres may be able to get 1 or 2 goals. But if not, I'll still pick him for this.
Yeah, because like winter is coming, summer is coming. You're able to play 1 game in 3 years, and the ability and all of that. I just saying that a team like Arsenal who hasn't played as a striker is not an excuse.
Which is why some pundits are tipping Man U to spring off surprises, because we are going to be having a whole lot of rest. They don't have European commitment. So while others are playing European commitment, it may work in Man U favor for this season. So I do expect Man U to, make top 4.
Time will tell. And that's the show for today. Thank you for listening to Jolly Sports. Please share, and subscribe. So parting words, please.
Parting words.
Sorry, closing remarks. Closing words.
Closing remarks. Man U glory days are close by. Don't undermine Man U.
Please share, and subscribe. For me to say, Arrivederci. Bye bye.